Okay, I wanted to send you a quick email or video about how I like to factor. So I'm gonna start with this quadratic. Let's see if that's big enough. I think so. I like to use the box method, and so I like to tell my students, okay, we are gonna use the box. We're gonna put x squared here and a positive 6 here, and we need to figure out what goes in these two spots. The way I do that is I personally like to make an a, c, and a b, x. You might have seen this before. I like to take, okay, this is my a, this is my c. I like to take 6, and I like to take 5. This is 6 because it was 1 times 6. Then I like to think, okay, what multiplies to be 6? We have 2 and 3, negative 3, negative 2, 1, 6, negative 1, negative 6. I hope this is still in the screen. It is. And then we figure out which adds to 5, which is this. So we're going to have 2 and 3. The difference is I'm going to put a 2x here and a 3x. It does not matter which you put in which position. Then we are going to factor by G, C, F. So I'm going to look, I'll start with these two. What do x squared and a positive 2x have in common? They both have an x. What do 3x and 6x have in common? They both have a positive 3. What do x squared and 3x have in common? They both have an x. And what do positive 2x and 6 have in common? They both have a positive 2. This leads us to our two factors, x plus 2 and x plus 3 equals 0. Now, a lot of students are going to tell you that last year they learned they could just take these numbers and they could put them here. And that is the case when a is 1, but is not the case if it's greater than 1. I would then solve. Okay. So that's 1. I will also do one with, sorry, I'm just making a problem. One that has an a that's not 1. Let me make sure it's still there. Let me move over. Okay. So similarly, I'm going to make my box. I'm going to put 2x squared. I'm going to put minus 4, and I have to figure out what goes here. A, C, B. A times C is negative 8. B is positive 7. So I need to figure out what multiplies to be negative 8. I have 2 and negative 4. I have negative 2 and positive 4. Negative 1 and 8, 1 and negative 8, and the answer is this, negative 1 and 8. So I'm going to put negative 1x, positive 8x, and I'm going to do the same thing as before. And this is why it's important, because students might think that they could do x minus 1 and x plus 8, but this does not work because that will not get us our a term of 2. So if I look here, what do these have in common? X. What do these have in common? They have a 4. What do these have in common? A 2x. And what do these have in common? A negative 1. So this would be 2x minus 1, x plus 4 equals 0. And then you would solve.